Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the NBA slate for Wednesday. We have another nice medium-sized slate today, 8 games for us to look at. So let's go ahead and get into it. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to follow on Twitter for updates and any parlays, if you want to tail them, post them. I've been posting CBB ones I posted them last couple of nights. We missed by one leg, 11 leg. We missed by one, and then last night we missed a 9 leg by one. Both were 2,500 odds, so that's been frustrating. I might post one today. Hopefully, we can get lucky and get all of them right. And then yesterday, got to Dennis Schroeder once. We got news that KPJ was out. It got off of Wiggins, so that was disappointing. And then Dwight Howard ended up not starting, and then that kind of killed him. But see what tonight brings. Looking forward to it. Feel slightly good about the slate. We have James Harden making his home debut for the Sixers. That should be fun. Point guard plays, you have Harden and SGA, two guys above $10,000. They both look solid. SGA's been balling out. Just without Josh Giddey, more usage for him. He's also been shooting just unbelievably well, which you don't expect to happen. He did lose a couple of minutes last game with the blowout nature. He played 33 compared to his usual 38 to 37 to 40. And he was in foul trouble at times. But I do prefer James Harden a little bit more. He's $1,100 or $1,200. $1,200 more than SGA right now, and he's been super motivated in a Sixers uniform, playing big minutes. Even though he's not taking a ton of shots, he's still getting to the free throw line a ton, like 12 and 14 shots, plus the 10 times he's probably going to get to the free throw line, plus all the assists that he's getting, the rebounds, triple-double, making his home debut against the same Knicks team that he dropped 80 against. Just super motivated. I feel good about making him one of my favorite pay-ups on the slate. And Devin Booker's 97. He's behind those top two guys for me just because Campaign is probable today to make his return, and he should go back to, the plan was for him to start at point guard. So if that's the case, you might get some less ball handling responsibilities for Devin Booker and some less assist opportunities. The 8K range, you have LaMelo, Simons, Halliburton. We get Brogdon back today, so Halliburton is going to be a little bit tougher to get to. LaMelo has a tough matchup against Cleveland, but still a good price tag. Want to take a shot, his price tag has come way down. I'd probably go down to Fox instead, though. He plays 40 minutes a night in any sort of close game. It's a good matchup here against the Pelicans. Should be pretty competitive, and it's just him and Sabonis really carrying the load. So Fox, and he's also fitting really nicely with Sabonis. Those two pair nicely in the pick and roll. Garland is questionable. Hopefully he plays. If he does, and he can look to Brennan Goodwin, who had a great game. Kevin Porter is also questionable. Hopefully he plays so we don't have to deal with any Houston guys against a tough Utah team, or maybe you can just fade them all if you wanted to. Decent price tag on Tyler Hero, and then you have some good value at the bottom here with Gabe Vincent at 42, Campaign at 43. Two guys that should be starting. Gabe Vincent in place of Kyle Lowry, and Campaign in place of Cam Johnson, and starting in place of Chris Paul. I'm going to go ahead and put in both guys here. Just to get myself some value that we can kind of build around and pay up for some superstars. I think both look like great cheap options. Over at the shooting guard position, James Harden is going to be my pay up that I'm going to be looking to get to. Other guys would be in the mid-range a little bit here with maybe Brandon Ingram against Sacramento. In the 5K range, you have Jalen Suggs at only 56. He looks super appealing. You could look to Dennis Schroeder, although he disappointed a lot of people yesterday. But if KPJ is out, definitely going to be looking like a good mid-range play. And then the value end, you're looking at some of these Portland guys just because they're still dealing with a lot of shorthandedness. CJ Ellaby is going to play some run at $4,100, and he might get up to 30-plus minutes. And you have Keon Johnson at 32, or 31. Also, he started last game, but still not the best fantasy play. Small forward, you have Jimmy Butler at 92 going up against Milwaukee. He's the only guy that's above $8,000 at this price tag. He looks good just because not too many other guys to pay out for. He only played 29 minutes against Chicago. Usually he's playing a lot more than that. And just shot the ball terribly, 4 of 13. Hopefully he can bounce back. So I do like Jimmy Butler. I don't really feel good about paying 76 for Bridges, or 78 for Middleton, or 76 for Josh Hart right now. I'd rather go down to Gordon at 6,000, maybe take a shot on Brissett at 61 potentially. And then if you're looking for the value pick here, you have Pokuševski at 41. Another nice cheap play that should get a lot of minutes today just because there's a good chance he starts today. I mean, that's what I'm assuming, because they lost a guy that they usually play a lot of minutes to, who Wiggins, who left the game last time out, didn't return. He's already been ruled out for this one with an ankle injury. So that's like, he only played 9 minutes, and we saw Pokuševski get up to like 25. So if he starts, there's a chance he could get to like 30-ish, which would be nice. And he's a guy that can get you some points, get you some rebounds, get you some defensive stats as well. So feel pretty good. He's like one of the value picks that you feel kind of good about looking to. Power forward, you have Giannis. Tough matchup against Milwaukee, but he's always matchup proof. You can save $3,000 and go down to Jimmy Butler if you wanted to. Go with a cheaper option here. Probably like Butler the best just because there's not too many other guys here besides like Julius Randle. That makes a lot of sense to pay up for. And Tobias has looked lost since James Harden has arrived. 2 terrible games from him fantasy-wise, even real-life-wise, but he did hit some threes at the end for the Sixers. And if you're looking in the 5K range here, there's not too much to like. You have a lot of these Indiana guys just priced similarly, and Brogdon is back today, so I don't feel good about picking between them. I'd probably look to Jalen Smith at 53, just because he's probably going to get some more minutes than Jackson. And then at the value range, you have like Greg Brown at 38, who should get some run from Portland. But I'll go ahead and put in Jimmy Butler at 92. Just feel good about him right now. Can make some updates, but I think he's going to have a good game. It's been a while since he's had a 50-point game. It's definitely coming without Kyle Lowry today. And then at center, you have Jokic, Giannis as your pay-ups here. Jokic should destroy this OKC front court. You have Embiid, also looks good if you want to double stack the Sixers superstars. You can save some money and go with Sabonis at 98. And then if you're going in the mid-range here, I like a couple of guys, starting with DeAndre Ayton at 68. He's super cheap. He's kind of gone back to getting his full minutes now, like 32 to 34 last couple of games. Good matchup against Portland, going up against this undersized and very thin front court here with like Greg Brown and Drew Eubanks. Should be a good rebounding effort from Ayton tonight, and he should just be able to destroy them in the front court. So that's like my favorite picks in the mid-range. If you're going with a value pick, you can look to Mo Bamba here at 49, or go to like Roby at 44. You should also be looking at more minutes. And then obviously Eubanks looks good at 43 just because he's going to be looking at high 20s in minutes. If he's playing well, they just don't have too many options here. And he can get you a double-double like he did last game. So that's it for DraftKings. It leaves you with over 5K left for the last 2 spots. Let's go over to FanDuel. Here, point guard picks, your payups are SGA at 10,000. He looks good. You can see some money go down to Donovan Mitchell at 88. I like Mitchell and Fox in the 8K range more than Halliburton. Ball is pretty cheap at 8K, but still not an easy matchup going up against the Cavs, who play pretty slow. In the value range, you have Simons and Brogdon, 2 guys that look good at their price tags. I like Simons more, but Brogdon is definitely firmly in play. And then you have Suggs at 58. Goodwin at 55 if he's starting again, if Garland is ruled out. And then you have the same value that we mentioned on the DraftKings side with Campaign at 41 and Gabe Vincent at 4,000. I'm going to go ahead and put in Campaign just because if he's starting at point guard, you're probably going to see like at least mid-20s in minutes. Could be slightly limited, but he should get a good amount of usage. I do like Gabe Vincent as well. At shooting guard, James Harden is super cheap at 10.4. Looks great in terms of paying up. I like him more than SGA, more than Devin Booker, more than Donovan Mitchell, but there's a nice price gap there. Mitchell should be able to have success against this Houston team. They play no defense. Only concern is a blowout. You can go with Jimmy Butler at a good price tag once again at only $8,400. And then the value range here, you have Brogdon at 63. I like Josh Hart at 6K compared to a 76 tag on DraftKings. Or you can go down to like Cole Anthony at 57. They're getting a little bit crowded in that front in the backcourt now that Fultz is back, but he's still going to be limited. He did play well in his first game back, but I'm going to go with Josh Hart. If this game is even somehow close, which it might not be, which is a good chance it won't be, he's going to be looking at like 30 minutes or so on the worst, like high 20s in the worst case, upside to get into mid 30s, maybe even like get close to 40 if it somehow turns into a close game. But 6K is just super cheap for Josh Hart. At small forward, Giannis looks excellent, but I'm going with James Harden. At 10.4, Giannis just looks good because the price tag is pretty affordable compared to his DraftKings number. Butler also looks great at $8,400, but I'd like to get up to Harden. I just like playing that small forward just because not too many other great options here. You have a couple guys in the mid-range like Will Barton. You have Baisley at 6K, Tyler Hero, but I don't think I'm going to go. None of those guys are must-plays here. At power forward, I like Sabonis at only 96. Like him more than Bam, and like him probably more than Giannis in terms of just a point per dollar play. 7K Christian Wood looks good, but the matchup is definitely tough. And then the 5K range here, you have Gordon at 55. He looks great. Pokusevski is priced up a bit on FanDuel at 52. So a little bit tougher to get to him, but he still looks decent at that price. And the value range here, you're looking at like Drew Eubanks at 39. I'm going to put him in just because he's super cheap. And I like playing him at power forward just because I can use my center spot on a actual guy that I feel great about. At center, Jokic is 11K. Looks excellent. That price tag has come down, even though it's a great matchup against the Thunder. Only concern you have is being a blowout, but SGA is there. He's playing great, so there's a chance it stays close. Embiid at 10.8 also looks great. Prefer Harden, but you can get to both guys if you wanted to prioritize them. Then you have a lot of guys in the mid-range. So many good center plays today. You have Valanciunas at 76, but I probably like Gobert more than Valanciunas. You have Wendell Carter. You have DeAndre Ayton at only 68. You have Kevin Love. And then all the way at the bottom, you have 46 for Bamba, who played well last game, but he's still super erratic. I'm going to go ahead and put in Ayton at 68 just because he's super affordable on both sides. Great matchup against Portland, and won't be surprised if it gets you like 40s, 50s. So that's pretty much it for the video. Thanks for watching. Best of luck tonight, and I'll see you all next time.